Howdy chaps, and welcome back to the very last episode of the year. It is in fact just going to be a catch up because I meant to film what I got done, but we had such an insanely small time frame that we just had to get it done. I did film some stuff, but not anything like what I wanted to, just because we were just trying to get things done. So as you can tell, she's looking pretty good, and I will run you through what happened. Alrighty, I'm also on my phone, so sound quality, picture quality may not be the best. Now, if you're playing at home, you'll notice the thing now has a turret on it. Boy, that took some doing. So those plates that I made are now on. The turret ring is in and looking lovely. I've started today on making some of these, I guess they're called turret ring protectors. They basically stop bullets and stuff from jamming up the turret ring. The turret is also missing, but we'll have, it's missing its little skirt that comes across from about that height and down. I have it actually over there, but I will put that on once I've got all these in. As you can see, they're just loosely in. I had two chopped up ones, two original ones, and I've joined them together to make one nice one, so that's all looking lovely. The engine deck is on, but just sitting there. I've got to modify my fuel covers. They're just sitting there ready to go. It's a lot taller than it once was, and also the tank is a lot heavier than it once was. So each one of those top plates was about 100 kilos. That side piece was 130. So we put, nudging 400 kilos of just the top and that side on. And I don't know what that weighs, but we've probably put close to a ton, maybe a smidge more. I'm suspecting more actually, of weight onto this vehicle. We have a little A-frame down there, and I will add in a little clip right now. Hey, you like that, didn't you? We towed it backwards and forward with his, I guess you call it a tractor, and boy, those tracks left an enormous trail of rubbish through this workshop. However, it did free them up, and I think with a bit more towing, those tracks will be quite good in the future. Not a lot to say. The firewall's in. That really enclosed the cabin. It's also very dark in there now. I made some mounts to bolt the turret to the turret ring. For those playing at home, the original way that this turret was mounted, should I say, this is a replica turret, because finding an original hexagonal style turret is really difficult. They are one of the rarest of all the turrets. Of course, it had to be this vehicle. The normal horseshoe turret's quite common actually. There's heaps of them around. Well, if you have deep pockets, but this one just don't exist. So this one has been fabricated, copying an original. But the way it mounts, because I don't have the turret bearings and I don't have the gear that goes underneath the roof. I've got everything else. We've had to put this turret on what they call a gun ring, which is just a turret ring basically, but normally just has a 50 cal mount on it, and that's all been cut off and modified to fit this to the hull at the correct height, as you can see, looking lovely right there. So once I'm finished with it and all these skirts are on, which is, you know, original, and it has the little through there, you won't even see it, and you'll be hard pressed knowing that it's not original, except the fact I told you. But I mean, if somebody magically had the right stuff, I would gladly put it on, but until that day happens, this is how it's going to be. All the bolts are in now, all across through the sides, and of course nice and solid. I know a few people have said, oh, you could have built that out of thinner stuff with a frame inside it, but perfectly honest, aside from being a little pricey, that was probably the easier way of doing it. Just use the right thickness steel. So yeah, that's in. Road wheels are still a sad issue, but you get that on big jobs. Still got to finish the mudguard, but what I was going to do was focus on around the turret first. But I thought this would be a nice little wrap up video of the tank, and insert some little clips and pieces of and some photos of us installing it. Yes, I did write the hull number on the side just like the original photo. I got my sizing of the 4 slightly wrong, but that's where its hull number was. So she's looking pretty good. I don't really know what else to say aside from I hope you all had a pretty good Christmas. New Year's Eve is tomorrow. Unless you're in America, then it's the day after, because you guys are always a day behind us. It's like looking into the future. So, yeah, 7 months it took me to get this from a wreck to what it is now. And a lot of money. But yes, getting there. I don't know what the new year's going to hold. Probably this time next year this will probably be finished, and I'll probably be back onto cars because, you know, got nothing better to do with my life. Yeah. Obviously, still working on the coupes and the EJ and stuff. And oh, this is one thing I got. I had the brakes done on the tank. These huge honking shoes. They're brand new linings on them now. So, when I feel like getting covered in oil, I'll drain the diesel fuel out of the diff to help unseize it, which it's done a fantastic job of. I will then fit these guys and refill the transmission and seal it all up and put all the huge amount of oil that it takes in. And then actually probably within the next 6 months I'd like to see this thing rolling under its own power with that Clevo in it. Unfortunately that does mean I'll have to cut a chunk out of the firewall, but if I do it in such a way like straight across there, I can install that piece back again one day when the radial is up and running, and that's back in the hole. I do eventually want this to be running its radial, you know, within reason, or at least I want to have the radial running eventually on the side. I did have a little friendly reminder, because the radials are renowned for catching fire. I got told, you know, what happens if your child's inside there and the tank catches fire? You've got to get yourself and your child out of the tank in a fairly rapid exodus, and they're not easy to get out of, because now that the tank's got a turret on it and all that stuff, you got to go through that. You flip that, the hatches up, obviously they're not there, flip the bottom one down and you all go through that hole. So unless you can climb out the top and then jump down 10 feet. But yeah, if it was to catch fire, then you got to think about your child who might be in the vehicle. So I'm like, maybe I'll run something that's less likely to catch fire and put the radio to the side. I don't know, because obviously she'll want to play in it. So, you know, there's some things that I've been thinking about. Anyway, enough ramblings. I hope you like the little towing videos and the fairly average video that this is. Hopefully next year I've got some better content. And yeah, leave it there.